Hey guys, here's the video instructions for topics in math, February 17th. Learning target for the day, we can use the distributive property to solve or simplify an equation. If the phrase distributive property seems a little scary, don't worry. I'm going to show you some examples to make it a little bit more visual and easier to understand. Essential question or question, if you're feeling slightly French, what is the distributive property and how do I use it? Great questions. In this video, I'm going to go over what the distributive property is, real life applications of it, and I feel like that'll help you guys kind of visualize how it works so that way your work time is a lot easier. What you should be working on during work time is the distributive property assignment, which will be due a week from today, February 25th. But if you want to be excused from the Google Meets tomorrow, make sure that you have finished the distributive property assignment and turned it in. If you score a 4, you will be excused from the Google Meets tomorrow. And just a reminder, the 1-2-step equations assignment will be due by the end of the day today. And you guys have 43 more days left of the term, 43 more days till you no longer have to see my face. So if you're really sick of this class, that is great news. Okay, so what is the distributive property? The distributive property is really just fancy for multiplication. You're just multiplying a group of numbers by the same number. Okay, so for example, in this equation over here, we have this group of numbers in the parentheses, x plus 4, and that is all being multiplied by this outside number 2. All right, same thing with this one over here. We have this big group of numbers, 3x squared minus 6x plus 1. That group of numbers are all being multiplied by this outside number, 2. How do you do this? In 2 easy steps. Step number 1, multiply each number one at a time, starting from left to right. So you're going to look at the number outside of the parentheses, multiply one at a time, starting from left to right, by the numbers on the inside of the parentheses. And then step number 2 is kind of like you might not necessarily have to do it. You're going to simplify by combining like terms. Sometimes you don't have any like terms to combine, so you might only have to do step number 1, which would be really nice. Okay, most of the time I use this real life examples part after we've done a little bit of practice, but I feel like this will really help if you struggle with the abstract thinking in math. It'll help you kind of visualize how this distributive property works. So long story short, when I graduated from college, I had a really low paying job, and to kind of make ends meet, I did a side hustle where I sold gift jars on Etsy. Like there were different themes where it was like spa day in a jar, or sick day in a jar, or movie night in a jar. The most popular one was Spa Day in a Jar, and they were meant to be just like cutesy little gifts that you could get your friends. And in the Spa Day in a Jar, I literally just stuffed all of these items in a jar and put ribbon on the outside. I'd put 3 colors of nail polish, 2 toe separators, like the little foam things that you put in between your toes to keep your toes from smudging when you're painting them, 1 face mask, 1 loofah, 2 flavors of chapstick, and then I'd stuff it all into a jar and put like 6 inches of ribbon tied in a bow on the outside. So if I were to make that into an equation, it would just look like this. 3 nail polish plus 2 toe separators plus 1 face mask plus 1 loofah plus 2 chapstick plus 6 ribbon and 1 jar. If I got 10 orders, I would have to like make my shopping list, go out and buy all the things that I needed, and then put it all together to make those little gift jars. So if I got 10 orders, like 10 gift jars ordered, here's what I would do to figure out my shopping list. I was using distributive property without even realizing it. I would take my 10 times 3 nail polishes, 10 times 2 toe separators, 10 times 1 face mask, 10 times 1 loofah, 10 times 2 chapsticks, 10 times 6 inches ribbon, and 10 times 1 jar. And that would give me my shopping list that I needed in order to make 10 total gift jars to sell on Etsy. All right, so hopefully that's enough to kind of help you guys visualize distributive property and how it works and make it a little less scary. Here's what you need to do today. Step number 1, watch the distributive property video. In that video, I'm going to go through 3 different problems that are on your distributive property assignment. So step number 2, as you watch that video, you might want to have your distributive property assignment open, so that way you can write down those free answers, and so that way you know how to do the rest by yourselves. Step number 3 is to complete the remaining problems by yourself. You're allowed to use a calculator and scratch paper, of course, and if you have any questions, you can ask me on Google Meets. You can call or text the Google Voice phone number, or you can email me. If you're not comfortable using Google Meets during your scheduled block, you can definitely email me or call or text, and I can send you a video of whatever problem you are stuck on. Same thing with step number 4. Make sure you complete and turn in your Algebra 1 assignment. If you're stuck on any of those questions, feel free to call, text, email, or pop onto the Google Meets, and I can always send you a video if you don't want to do Google Meets. And then just a reminder, if you want to be excused from the Google Meets tomorrow, just make sure that you finish your distributive property assignment today, turn it in, and if you get a 4 on that assignment, you will be excused from your Google Meets tomorrow. And I will send you an email by the end of the day and also a text message to let you know whether or not you need to come to that Google Meets tomorrow morning. All right, I think that's pretty much it. Have a great day, guys.